Happy Wednesday and welcome back to the Shelby Show, a show for agents where we dig into how to optimize your time, how to develop your skill sets, and create a business that you love. So if that's something that you're into, go ahead and hit subscribe. Today's video is about me, actually. It is my real estate story, the agent side of the story from year one. Some of you guys may know me through real estate investor stuff, maybe through Bigger Pockets or Pints and Properties, the nationwide real estate investors meetup we host, or maybe through 5 Pillars team at eXp Realty, my real estate team. But all of that started back in 2018 when I was a brand new solo agent and closed 48 deals my first year and became the Keller Williams Rookie of the Year for all of North and all of South Carolina. And today, we are channeling those days with the goal of sharing the 3 biggest factors that contributed to my success. Before we jump in, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any tips or tricks on how to optimize your business with new real estate videos every Wednesday. Looking back to 2018, there were 3 things that I did consistently that really impacted my results. The first thing is I said yes. The second thing is I aggressively pursued what I wanted. And the third was that I made it easy for everyone else. Y'all are like, okay, what does that even mean? How does that apply to real estate and how can I implement it now? No sweat, let's break it down with some real life stories with lessons embedded within them. Story time, example of say yes. Back in January 2018 in Fayetteville, North Carolina, on my very last day in the Army before breaking free of my W-2 job to pursue real estate full time, I sent out a mass email to everyone that I worked with, thanking them for allowing me to serve and asking if I could continue serving them through real estate. Because of this email, I had someone hit me up and ask to see a property the next day. Mind you, I passed the real estate exam, but y'all know that that does not mean that you know how to be an agent. And this was literally day 1, but I said yes. I said yes way before I was ready. Saying yes forced me to figure out the bare minimum immediately. How to get inside a property, where to find the most basic information, how to talk to a human about real estate. I had to figure out these things on a total time crunch. Y'all know that if that showing request would have been for 2 weeks from now, I would have taken the full 2 weeks to figure out that exact same information. By saying yes, it forced action and it forced progress. And I learned way more through the experience and the pressure I felt on my shoulders than that 2 weeks could have ever provided. Another benefit of saying yes in this manner is that it provided me clarity on what was actually important in a real life scenario. What questions did the client have about the property? What questions did the client have about the process? Those were the things that I needed to dig into. Those were the things that I needed to attack first. Goodbye hypothetical bookwork and bring on real life. None of this would have been possible if I would have responded, sorry, I'm new, I don't know what I'm doing yet. Force yourself to say yes. Take the plunge now. Some more examples of things that you should say yes to now and figure it out as you go are any listing opportunity, any deal where the numbers work, I'm talking about investment property, or any opportunity to work outside of your comfort zone. So if you normally work residential, take the opportunity to say yes to commercial or an investment property. This is your time to say yes and force yourself to figure it out. Also, now is the time to hit like and subscribe so you can catch all my weekly videos. Story time, an example of aggressively pursuing what you want. Now it is February of 2018, and although I have said yes to as many opportunities as I can, I still realize that I have a ton to learn. And I was still relying on the classes taught by my firm, trying to learn to be a badass agent while sitting in a slow-paced, beginner intro level class with a ton of people who were completely lost. This, I realized, was not my best use of time. What I needed was someone who was straight crushing it. I needed to learn directly from them, on the job, on the streets, cutting out that learning curve. But my firm did not have a mentorship program, and if you are a solo agent at a big firm, there's a lot of every man for himself. So what's a girl to do? Aggressively pursue what I want. So I went to my firm's leadership and I asked for a list of the top performing agents. This is my hit list. These are the people I need to learn from. The ones doing it with the clients lined up down the street, slinging deals, writing contracts, negotiating and closing. I called them, I texted them, I emailed them, I sent them smoke signals, I watched them sleep from the bushes outside their house. You get my point. And yes, they blew me off in the beginning, but let me tell you, persistence wins. Persistence with a smile. Yo, and I wasn't asking them to train me. I was asking for the bare minimum. I just wanted to watch them. I wanted to ride in the car with them and overhear their phone calls. I wanted to sit quietly at their appointments and observe. No added effort, just let me through the door. And because of this aggressive pursuit of what I wanted, I was able to learn from the best agents in my firm and cut my learning curve by years. I took the best tips and systems from each of them, threw out what I didn't like, and crafted the agent who I wanted to be. What took these agents years to learn, I learned in a month. Note, if you're an agent and you're looking for a mentor, hit me up. My team and my firm have solved the problem of mentorship and we would love to help you hit your goals. Okay, back to it. Some other examples of things that you should aggressively pursue regardless of whether or not it's normal are your education, your network, and your goals. I cannot emphasize the aggressive pursuit of your real estate and your business goals enough. Lean into your curiosity. Let that fire burn. Feel no shame in asking for clarification when it seems like everyone else already gets it. Dig in deeper and aim to fully understand, because everything you learn is another tool that you can add to your toolkit. And this allows you to come up with better and more creative solutions for any problem. As for your network is your net worth is a phrase that I did not take seriously for far too long. And it's so real. Aggressively pursue real relationships and real connections. And regarding your goals, I had no idea that closing 48 properties your first home wasn't normal until people were talking about the fact that I was gonna become the rookie of the year. That's the first time that I lifted my head up and started caring what other people were saying. Until that point, I didn't care what was normal, I just cared about my goals. And if you aggressively pursue your goals, regardless about what society tells you is normal, you are far more likely to hit them. And while we're at it, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any tips on how to break through other agent barriers. Story time, an example of making it easy for everyone else. At this point, we're in March of 2018, about 3 months into year one, and I've closed a couple deals, and I've got some folks who wanna buy, but they've all got a reason why they can't do it right now. For instance, one family wants to move, but they need to do some research on schools before they make a commitment. And I'm over here thinking like, yo, we gotta go. Like, I need some closings, like money, W-2, non-existent anymore, come on. So I calmly ask, what specifically would you like researched in these schools? I'll gladly do the work for you. Making it easy for them.
I am the one, the way your son don't.
And I did. I freaking researched, I Googled it, I set up calls with principals, you name it. But what I really did is I put myself in control of the process. Instead of leaving the research up to that family and their own timeline, I knew that they wanted to buy and make a move and identified the thing that was holding them back. So I cleared the way for them. And that became the trend. If things weren't moving in the direction that I wanted at the speed in which I wanted, I identified the friction point, I solved it, and I made it easy on everyone else. I did the work. I cleared the path and made my path the one of least resistance. Was it an insane amount of work? Absolutely. Did it create the result I was looking for? Absolutely. In life, you get to pick your pain. I could have picked the painful option of not closing deals, but instead I picked the painful option of doing a ton of work to achieve my goals. I stand by my choice. A couple more examples of how you can make it easy on everyone else is, for instance, if you have an investor who you know wants to buy but doesn't really have a ton of time to run numbers, run the numbers for him. Do all of the legwork and provide the deal in a pretty little package and exactly the criteria he's looking for. At this point, all he has to say is, let's do it. Or if you have a seller who you know wants to sell, but the property is currently occupied with a tenant on a 12-month lease, you could use your network to try to find an investor who would buy that property while it's tenant occupied. Or you could hit up the tenant and see if they want to buy the property. Make it easy on the seller by solving all of his problems and just bringing him an offer that you already know that he's looking for. The point is, there is always a way. And if you are willing to accept the hard work of making it easy for everyone else, your goals can become a reality. And guys, that is all I got for today. Thank you for hanging out for another episode of The Shelby Show. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, comment below if there's anything in particular that you would like me to dive into, and see you next week. And see you next week. And see you next week.